Stand by, we're rolling. And here we go. We've been so lucky with the weather in the previous episodes. We got the drone up and brought you stunning sunrises and remarkable sunsets. Not so this time. The weather went south this week. The theme of this video is friendship. Julia and I planned a camp out at Beeding Hill to celebrate our closer friendship. Needing something from a local outlet store, I walked the short distance. Oh, nice van. That would make a lovely camper, big enough for two. Mind you, there are some lovely houses around here, also big enough for two. So to the range I went, in search of the camping section and the object I sought. They have a range of all sorts here, but I needed something strictly personal. Well, here it is, a double mattress. And I've got to see if this fits, because I didn't actually know what the measurements were in the across. So I've rebuilt the sort of makeshift double bed housing, if you like, and then I'm going to open this up and see if it actually fits inside. So first thing's got to happen, the old one has got to come out. I stitched that up. It's lovely, isn't it? The new one has yet to have any covers. This one is a bit cheap and cheerful and probably better suited to a tent rather than the van. But we'll give it a whirl. There we go. Thanks to Steve Mitchell, who very kindly, generously gave us this little pump that is charged up on a USB cable and puts the air into the mattress, and it also sucks it out again afterwards by attaching to the other end. But that's done it in easy time, about 2 minutes I think, or even less than that, to pump up a double mattress. That's amazing. Time now to see if it's going to be sufficient. Well, I don't know how comfortable it is actually going to be, whether it holds up for the night, but it just about fits in here. It's a strange shape really with these lumps. I would like it to have been a little bit more uniform, but perhaps with some blankets on the top and all the rest, it'll be okay. We'll just have to see. The clouds ahead are looking a bit grim. We've had all that glorious sunshine last week, and now looks like we're going to have a wet night in the van.
Wet and windy? Could be interesting. Love the sound of rain on the van.
So off we head to Windmill Hill, above Shoreham, passing other camper vans doing the same, and on to Beeding Hill at the end of the road. Well, I think here's as good as any, don't you?
Relatively level.
Looks like we've got the car park to ourselves. Let's go and investigate.
Let's.
Oh, I just grabbed my phone,
Don't leave that.
just in case. Well, we do have the car park.
To our own sons.
That's rather good. It's going to be a bit windy, and I know it's going to rain. So we were here only a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was lovely, and we had the flag, and we flew the flag.
Yep. And we actually did a bit of drone practice, didn't we?
We did.
That didn't appear in the episode.
No, we did some drone. In fact, I could show some of that drone practice in because we haven't shown it. And here it is. And Julia loves flying the drone. I think it's absolutely essential to get her trained up. I'm still learning. Julia has actually had some drone practice beforehand, so she's a bit more used to it, so that we can do some lovely effects. It's not the greatest of weather, and I think this week is going to be a bit crap, which is a shame. However, we just decided we've got to take advantage of whatever the weather is to make these features. So it's great to see Julia working away with the drone to get some practice in. I don't want to overuse the drone. I think the drone is a very useful tool, but I think you can overdo it. But very much for me, it's a device for doing establishing shots and that sort of thing. Somebody asked me in the members area if you could even just have the sound of the drone on, but when it's filming itself, it doesn't actually record any audio at all. So this is where we were a couple of weeks ago, and now we're back tonight. And it's windy, sorry about the wind. But we have it to ourselves, which is just superb.
Delightful. Don't know how long that'll last.
No, I think people will come up here when it gets a bit darker and a bit later. So we parked ourselves at the end. I'm a bit nervous about that because I'm just slightly concerned we could get boxed in if idiots come up, but hopefully they won't.
Touch wood.
Right, should we go make ourselves a drink, or... Oh, you touched wood, yeah?
Yes, I'm touching wood.
Should we make ourselves something warm?
Yes, I think that would be lovely.
Just turn the van round, actually. I don't know why I feel a bit nervous, because we're in this remote place and it's just us, and I feel responsible for Julia. So I've turned the van round now so that should anything happen, it's pointing towards the entrance and we can just skedaddle. But this is probably the most level bit, so when we're sleeping it'll be a little bit easier.
Oh, it's so lovely to be out and about at this time of day. Some beautiful skyline to see. Lots of lovely elder in bloom. I love elder. And you've got these lovely oxeye daisies popping up as well. This looks lovely. We've had a skylark passing overhead. They sing so beautifully, don't they? Weird patterns that they fly. When we arrived, there was crows, about 3 or 4 crows or rooks. Or I never can remember the difference. Probably rooks. But yeah, they were around.
Julia and I have grown closer over the past 4 years making these videos, and I'm thrilled that her domestic situation is now slowly improving. Well, it's a bit of a windy one tonight.
It is somewhat of a breeze.
And it may come cascading down any second, so we may hear the rain. I'm actually quite looking forward to sleeping in the van when rain hits. So it must be the same with the caravan.
Yeah, it's an ASMR thing in real life.
Yeah. So in your caravan, I mean, the holidays are now over, or the weeks, the
half term.
half term. Yeah. So obviously Elijah's got to go back to school.
Yeah.
So what's that mean for you?
Well, we had a lovely time in the caravan.
Yeah.
Spent a good chunk of the half term there. And
But you're back.
but we're back for the term time, of course.
Back home. Yeah.
This is last half term in this school before he moves on to the next school. But in the meantime, we're going to spend the 6 weeks of summer in the caravan.
And the caravan itself staying at your mum's or possibly moving around?
Yes, I mean, at the moment, obviously, I've had to leave it on my mum and dad's driveway.
Yeah. I guess the only realistic thing is that you'd have to find a site where you can hook up and rent it. You know, like, I mean, there must be, I don't know, but there must be sites you can be on a fairly temporary, fairly permanent basis.
Semi-permanent,
Semi-permanent.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You know, for
but fairly
couple
near.
of months at the least, you know, rent at a time.
And so Elijah's got his new school to go to, which is all set. So you really don't want to interrupt that unless you have
Well, I mean, over the summer, well, I don't know. I mean, I could move
Right.
elsewhere. You know, I'm
Yes.
not closed to that because, I mean, he's at the stage where a fresh start would be a fresh start.
to. Right. And I guess it's no skin off his nose whether, because he's going to a new school, whether the school is the one that you've already seen.
Well, either he'll enter as the new kid that no one knows him or anything,
At all.
so he could start afresh
Yeah.
and reinvent himself as such, or he goes to a school that he's already registered to go to,
Yeah.
with people that do know him, and you know, and all that goes with that.
Yeah.
That's good and bad, of course.
Yeah, no,
but- but
absolutely.
school's a hard time.
So what about Joe?
Yeah, my little one. Well, I absolutely adore the nursery he's at the moment. It's the one that Elijah went to, and you know, so they kind of know.
They know him, they know the family.
Yeah,
And he's getting on all right there?
he's doing really well. You know, his speech is starting to come along now. Not sure about mine, but his is doing very well.
So when you're in the caravan long term, or short, you know, this period that you're going to be in the caravan, presumably the father will want to see the children, and so will you be open to letting him have them at weekends and things like that?
Well, of course.
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah,
mean, we're both very much of the mind that co-parenting. I mean, how much that will work out,
Yes.
I don't know. It's going to be logistics, isn't it? Really.
yeah. So I pre-prepared a meal for us tonight,
You did very kindly.
and it's a chicken vegetable casserole broth.
It smells delicious.
So we've got chicken, red pepper, celery, onion,
Carrot.
a little bit of carrot, a little bit of cabbage. Actually, that's a bit of an old coleslaw that I had, so I sort of chucked that in. So I hope the
Why not?
vinegary effect doesn't come through. Some oxo cubes for the stock and a load of herbs. No spices.
No spices.
Bit of black pepper, bit of salt.
Could have added some smoked paprika. Paprika, however you want to pronounce it.
Smoked paprika, eh? What's curryfying? Is it paprika? What does that
It's
do?
not a curry. It's just an earthy.
Oh, it's not a.
No,
oh,
not
it's
all
not
spice.
hot.
Not all spice is hot.
No, I didn't know that whether it was hot spice.
Yeah, no, it's the hotness in a spice that kills me.
Right.
I
yeah.
love a good chili.
So
chili
paprika's
con carne
okay.
and
You can do
chili
paprika
tubby.
then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I love spices.
It's canine pepper that you're not good on.
Cayenne.
Cayenne.
I do like it, but again, if there's if there's more than a sprinkle in there, then I'm going.
Right. Okay. Cool.
But-
well,
But
yeah.
then again, there are times when I do like to push myself with a good hot spicy food.
I know you like a mild chili, and that's always nice on a cold day. I've got rolls now. These are not homemade, I'm afraid. These are just cheap and cheerfuls.
Yeah, thyme and everything.
Yeah. So that's what we've got tonight. Dinner has been consumed.
We have eaten. I am fully replete. Thank you very much. It was delicious.
My
Absolutely
pleasure.
Stunningly delightful.
So,
The
We're
washing
gonna-
up's going to be done at home tomorrow when you get back?
yeah, we'll just bung it in a bag, and then I'll take it home and wash it up at home. That's the great thing about a single overnight when you're not too far away, and you've got to get your kids to school in the morning. Well, the rain has definitely come in. Nice girl, but we won't let her in. It's just you and me tonight. So we'll see you guys in the morning. and we'll find out if our friendship survived this rather close proximity later on. Meanwhile, back at home, the weather has played havoc with my filming plans, so I've decided to empty the shed. In here somewhere is a prop that I'm desperate to get out. It's buried right at the back. There is so much junk, and one of the things I'd like to do with the shed is to actually reduce the size of it so I had a bit more garden. But I've got to get shot of most of this stuff. It's become a dumping ground. As you can see, stuff is just stacked up all over. So I've got a van, as you know, of course, and I've got a special license to go to the tip using the van, claiming that this is domestic waste and not commercial waste. So you have to get a special license to be able to do that. I managed to do that. And so it's just a question now of really making space in the van and putting the stuff in. But I don't want to get the van dirty, so I've got a whole load of these big old builder's bags, and I'm going to fill them up with the stuff, load up the van and take it down to the tip, and hopefully that'll give me a bit more space to, well, no doubt fill up the shed again with more junk. This task requires PPE, personal protection equipment, and in my case, a boiler suit. After all, I don't want to get my cravat dirty, do I? Right, so one of the first things I've got to decide is how much of the van's interior stuff needs to come out. Because, sorry about that, it's a bloke drilling just as I start filming. So convenient. So I need to take out some of the stuff here so I can get all the junk in. So that's what I'm going to do now. Could you stop that drilling, please? I'm trying to make a video. This little unit can stay, while all the soft furnishings better go. Oh, and my spare tyre, I'll keep that because that'll act as a step. So this is the van empty, and here it is again, full of my rubbish. So that is good work. I think I'm pleased at that. It means now I can shift some other stuff around and get Bessie, this sort of buggy thing, out and decorate it for some whimsy. And talking of that, whilst I've got a bit of time, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. I've got a little bit of painting to do, and then I shall head down to the tip, and that will be, oh, that is a job that I've been just dying to do for donkeys, so it's actually fortuitous. Right, where's the kettle? With the trip run done, the next day I wanted to clean the van and catch up with my new friend, Tim Tricker. So I shot over to Burgess Hill. Let's see if he's awake. I don't know if this is actually Tim's house. He's a funny bugger. I mean, Oh, good morning. Good morning.
How are you, mate?
I'm very well. Nice to see you. It's time to check up on your van.
Uh-oh.
See what you're doing. Also,
Yes?
I know you've found a wonder thing to make your van gleam.
Wonder. It does improve the bodywork. It really does. The little bit I tried on it has made a lot of difference. So,
Well, that sounds perfect. I bought a
little bit on
bucket.
there. Oh,
I
sorry.
bought a bucket. I bought some rags. Thought I might just clean the van at the same time whilst I'm here. Saves wetting my drive.
Can you do mine as well?
Of course.
There's Rachel's car around there needs doing too.
I'm not going to do the whole bloody neighbourhood. I don't know. Ask a favour and take a liberty. We've not been friends long, but Tim has proven to be an extremely good mate.
Oh, I've got to do it. Right.
What's the matter? I don't think Tim likes my technique. I thought there was a certain style to it. Well, I think that looks sparkling, but Tim's not convinced, and he's got some stuff that we're going to try out on his old battered van. Hello, Tim.
Hello,
again.
mate. Again.
You weren't quite convinced with my car cleaning skills.
Your
van cleaning. It's a van.
It's a van. It's not a car.
Right.
And no, I wasn't really convinced with them.
Okay.
I think the technique needs slightly improving.
All right. I can take.
You can work on that.
Yeah, I can take criticism. This swine. So, let's do it on your van, because you've got some stuff. I think it's paint stripper or something.
Nitromors.
What?
Nitromors.
Is that
It'll
paint
get
stripper?
this back to the metal in no time. Strip all the paint and gone.
Fantastic. That's just what I'd like to see. No, it's not really that, is
It's not. It's polished. I found. I bought this a long time ago, and it is really good. So we're going to see how. After we wash the bonnet quickly, we'll divide it in two, see how it works after one half, and see the original bit, and hopefully it'll bring our van up absolutely gleaming when we get round to doing it all.
Fantastic. So this is blue bottle polish, apparently.
Yeah.
Or some such name that we're not advertising.
It might be green.
Yeah, exactly. For those looking in black and white, it's the red one. So your van actually hasn't been cleaned since you've had it.
Nope.
So it's still got all that smeary mess from Brands Hatch when it was. Actually, do you know, somebody actually thought that it was a pace vehicle.
Really?
Yeah,
I
you know,
didn't see
you
that
joked.
comment.
Did you? Oh, no.
I did. I joked about that.
I think it was it Ricky who said that?
Yeah.
Or somebody said they were serious. They said, I'm not sure that he's done the right thing if it's a pace vehicle. They thrashed them, he said. But
no, it wasn't a pace vehicle.
You were joking in that episode.
Yeah, it wasn't a pace vehicle.
So for those that don't know, if you haven't seen the previous episodes, Tim's only had the van about 3 weeks, something like that.
About that.
And he bought it clapped out, and he's going to return it to another clapped out state. Isn't that's about right?
Yeah, with a bed in it.
Yeah, with a bed in it. So he'll be clapped out in bed in his van, which is perfect. Right, let's get on and do this half and half. It's like the Daz doorstep challenge, this, isn't it? Only it's with a van. So you've given that a rough clean and you just dried it off, which looks lovely. Now you've got blue bottle cleaner, otherwise known as myrrh, frankincense and myrrh. So what you're going to do is just one half.
Now, what you're going to do?
Oh, am I doing this?
You're just doing. No,
yeah, I'll let you do it. I don't want to make a mess of your wonderful van. So we're going to do that, and we should notice the difference. So there's a little bit. If I come up here like this, there's a little bit of reflection. You might be able to see the camera in there, or me, or anything.
Reflection?
Yeah, it could be. Thanks. It's the bonnet, not my bonnet.
Sorry.
Not my
Sorry,
bonnet.
sorry.
Thank you. I can't get the stuff, can you? So, right, off you go then. I think that's about it then, Tim.
Yep, that's half the bonnet with the blue myrrh on it.
Excellent. So now you're going to, what,
We're
do we
gonna-
leave it or
It's been on there about 2-3 minutes, drying, and it's now gone to
a fluffy
whitish-
stage?
whitish powdery stuff. So we'll now
Polish it off?
polish it off, and we'll see what the difference between one half and the other half is.
Cool. This is like one of those TV things that you find on the internet. Just stand over. Oh, we've got the dogs from hell coming after us. I'm going to hide round the back till the job is done. No idea if the audience can see the difference on the camera, but in real life I can tell you, it looks gold. The whole van now looks glimmerily shimmering in gold. No, there is a big difference.
There is.
Actually. Is it expensive, that stuff?
I bought it a long time ago, so I've got no idea how much it would cost these days, but I can look into it.
No,
If
you
anybody-
don't need to look into it. I was just
If anybody
asking,
wants
is it
to know, then they
expensive?
can
No,
look it up
it's.
themselves.
You could have just said, no, it's cheap as chips. That would have done
Well.
me, but you didn't.
I didn't.
Just looking inside the van here, Tim. Not much has changed.
Not an awful lot, to be fair. I've given it another clean up. I've got rid of some ground-in stuff that was into the nooks and crannies. I've glued some struts onto the floor in preparation for the plywood to be screwed down, which I'm hoping I will get completed by the end of today, and then there'll be a floor in which to plan and build off.
I'm still envious that I can stand up in his van, whereas in mine, I am Mr. Stoopy. Back home, the Board Explorer art department is in full swing. I'm making props for a whimsy that is coming up, but it's not in this episode. I quite like these whimsy things. People have really enjoyed. I'm just taping this temporarily. I'll tell you why in a second, but I'm going to put that in there. I think you can see what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be ice creams. Now I'm going to be doing some filming probably on the promenade with lovely Julia and myself in a forthcoming episode. And the ice creams, I don't want them to melt. So we need to make prop ice creams. They're going to be in an ice cream, one of these stop me and buy one type things, sort of that type of thing. I've got actually something that I used for something else years ago. So I'm going to rebuild that and decorate it. But I wanted to make something that would hold the ice cream. So I've got this piece of wood here and drilled some holes in it. And I've got to make a whole series of ice creams, which I'm going to decorate with some hundreds of thousands. And what, no, these are red and white blue strands and some hundreds and thousands to make it look nice. I probably need to get some PVA glue or glycerine to spray on it to make it look wet, because this is actually made from quick drying interior filler, like polyfiller type thing for holes in walls. And he broke the bloody thing then. And I'm using just some paper, as you saw there, to create the cone effect, because the cones that I bought I thought might be useful are actually quite small, and in comparison they look a bit diddy, and I want something to look rather splendid. I'm using a piece of wood for the chocolate flake that will be sticking in some of them, and I'm having to paint that and make it look a bit rough, because obviously chocolate itself would melt. I like the whimsy because I think these whimsy things, for me, they reflect the essence of what the programme is about, and it is that slightly somewhat nostalgic look back at England and part of my quest for England that I'm searching for. So there's a lot of this to do, and unfortunately I'm not going to get it all done each week. So some weeks I'll be working on something a couple of episodes hence, but people seem to like that. They love the bathtub race. It wasn't really a race, but that freedom of going down, the exhilarating thrill of casting down a hill with no brakes in a go-kart. You can't beat that, and people really very much enjoyed the episode. And in the members area, we're putting the behind the scenes of how it was constructed and how it was filmed. And there's daily videos going up behind the scenes of all of this, and it's really good. And people in the comments have said whether they enjoy it or not, and whether it's value for money. So I need to crack on with this in these days, because we've just had some bad weather. It's raining, it's not nice. So it's one of those times where you just knuckle down and get down to a bit of prop making. So the next thing I need to do is to, I think, get some glycerine and glue on my decoration for the ice creams. So, how did Julia and I manage the night together on Beeding Hill then? Morning cometh. Julia's just getting herself sorted, but I always love to get up very early, especially when out in the van. Unfortunately today we couldn't get the sunrise. For one thing, the hill is quite high and the sun would be rising on the wrong side. For another, it hasn't stopped raining on and off throughout the night. The pitter-patter of the raindrops was actually quite exquisite and I thoroughly enjoyed that. We've got the early morning bleating of some sheep just across the way, the wind of course, and dog walkers are arriving now, and I've got to drop Julia home shortly because she's got school, get the kids ready for school. Sun has just this second gone in, just as we were setting up the camera, and the wind, as ever, has just started to change.
Wind picked up, sun dipped down.
But we've
behind.
Survived the night. Did you sleep all right?
Yeah, slept okay.
Did
you?
Yeah, it's not the best of mattresses, I have to say. Can you just come in a fraction? There we go. Yeah, I think there's some modifications need if we're going to have the van for two, because one of the problems was that mattress just spans the whole of the van, so once you're in the bed, that's it, you're in the bed. If you want to get out, say for a midnight wee or any other biological function, I don't know quite what that would be, bloodletting, that sort of thing, you know, sacrificial leeching. Lamb, yeah, leeching, there we are, garroting, no, then I think you just need some sort of passage down there, so I think I'm going to have to look at a different type of mattress, and it may be a little bit more cozy, but yes, as an experiment it worked very well.
Very therapeutic.
But you've got to get the kids to school.
Yep.
And
first day back at term.
Yeah, and I'm hungry for some hot porridge, which, as we're only a mile from home, I'm going to do that at home Because the van, amazingly, it's got very filthy on the ground and need tidying up. So that's my task for the day.
Keep
Come
you
on.
busy.
Oh, let's warm up. I think our friendship survived all right. Don't you? See you next time.